An empire.
Limousine service provided by Music Express, voted #1 by the National Limousine Association, with offices in Los Angeles and in the New York area. Call Music Express to handle your corporate limo needs anywhere in the U.S. and the world.
Born Concerta Ann Angolia, is that right?
Concetta.
Concetta Ann Angolia. Connie Stevens is look what it says, is known to almost everyone. Is not known to almost anyone.
What?
She is a successful performer, actress, and businesswoman. She can be seen in 2 new summer releases, Oh No Not Her, and Race with Destiny, the James Dean story. Oh No Not Her would be with my friends Taylor and Bologna, isn't that right?
Yeah, they just retitled it called Love Is All There Is. It was so much fun. We shot here at City Island.
They're funny, aren't they?
Oh, what a cast. Paul Sorvino and Laney, and it's Romeo and Juliet in the Bronx, if you can imagine today.
The Oh No Not Her refers to who? To who plays the part of her, if it was Oh No Not Her, which was that would be
I don't
Renee.
know.
Because I could see her calling herself that. And the James Dean story, is there?
It was called Race with Destiny.
And is this a new movie coming out about James Dean?
Yeah. I played the manager, and she was her name was Jane Deasy, I believe, and she was the first mega power broker as an agent. So it was a nice little part.
Remember her, don't you, John? Jane Deasy, I think it was.
Deasy, that's it.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah,
Deasy.
that's who you played. And who plays James Dean?
Casper Van Dam.
Perfect.
Good-looking young kid.
Perfect.
Did a good
Now,
job.
are you as wealthy as everyone tells me you are? I mean, are you making a fortune here? What is this? Is it on Home Shopping?
Home Shopping.
Home Shopping. And I'm telling you, you're just lighting it up on Home Shopping. And you're selling kayak and Kaylee and stuff like that, right? These are scents, right?
That's right.
Am I getting it right? Is that right?
Yes.
And you just get
I
out
have
there and you
73 products now.
73 things.
73 products.
So you're out there selling 73 different things on various. How often are you there?
I'm going about 6 weeks to 8 weeks now. I'm trying to sort of cut back a little bit. I built the company up to an incredible job, you know, where it can stand on its own. People really know about it. They like it. It's good skincare.
When you say 6, 8 weeks, you mean you're
every 6 or 8 weeks I go there.
And how long are you there once you get there?
I'm there about 3 days. I do about 6 shows, sometimes 4 days.
How long is a show?
Anniversary. An hour, 2 hours,
and what
3
do you
hours.
say? What do you say? Buy this, smell this.
I talk about the products, the ingredients, and then the people call in. That's my favorite part. They call in and they ask questions, or they just chat. It's like a
anything?
talk show.
About anything?
Yeah. It's usually about the products.
It's about the product.
It has turned into something really extraordinary, though, because when people communicate on that level, the people who sit home and watch television and buy many, many times are stuck in the house for one reason or another, where they don't want to come out. They're a little shy, or they don't feel like they're part of what's going on anymore.
Right.
And so there's the audience takes on a whole personality to me. And each weekend, it's extraordinary. I'm sure you find that too. Don't you kind of feel an audience through for the day by calls and by your guests? And
well, it's a huge thing. It's
you
a
feel
huge
like
thing
who's
in
listening?
my life, you know, the audience. You know, and I don't know that I'm any more comfortable that when I sit down in this chair and talk to the audience. It's a great privilege to be able to come out and share whatever is on your mind with the audience. And you know, as you and I were talking before we started, there's not a lot of people that will do that. Tom Snyder does it, but mostly it's not done. Mostly people are saying, you know, do you think the scandal will get up into the White House on Whitewater? Or even the news, it's like 3 minutes on a given thing, but you know. So whether it's Home Shopping or here, the idea that people are talking to the people sitting at home is outstanding for me.
It's like talking over the fence. And they reveal a tremendous amount about themselves. Sometimes it's very sad, and sometimes some of the older women, they get crazy. They make me laugh so hard. You know, they'll tell me, I got carded at the Senior Citizen Center the other day using your products. And
what does carded mean?
They got carded for being 65. They're in their 80s.
Carded?
Yeah, they said, are you 65? You're not allowed in here. They're in their 80s.
Oh, really?
It makes them very happy.
Oh, I see. You mean carded means we check your ID. Is that what that means?
Right.
And if people use Kaylee or kayak, they just smell better. Is that right?
Yeah, the skincare is really the main
skincare.
baby. It's really good. It's very clean, good ingredients. They've all been tested together.
So you're not worried about running into the kind of thing that Kathy Lee ran into, that people in sweatshots are squeezing this juice for this stuff?
Not at all.
Did you check that kind of stuff before you? I don't know who makes.
Oh, sure.
Where do you get this?
Sure.
Who makes perfume?
Well,
comes from flowers, I guess, right?
Yeah, there's a living botanical garden right here in upstate New York, and we got 3 living flowers in there for the first time. That peony, she'd never been caught before.
Peony was never caught before?
Casablanca lily. So,
right, when you say caught, it's like English is not my first language.
Well, neither is it mine.
Caught, how do you mean
my
caught?
semantics
You say they
are a
were
little
carded? They're caught. No, when things are caught, 15 seconds.
They squeeze the flowers and they derive the scent. And usually, in the old days, it used to be very synthetic. They would mix certain things, little oils, to get the scent. Now they're actually squeezing flowers, and I don't know how they're doing it.
Back with Connie Stevens. In 1981, Connie, you said, or you were quoted as saying that you would like to be known as a serious actress or more serious actress. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you pursue it?
I tried for a while, and raising the kids got a little difficult. You know, they were all, I had to make enough money for them to go to college, being a single parent. So I didn't want to play that same role that I was playing, that I got highly paid for, but every time I went to stretch out, I needed to, and as I got older, I got to the back of the line, so to speak. So I invested in the business, and I didn't get to pursue because I just had to take the money, and the money was very, very good.
You know, it's funny, I think of that because there was a period, I started off as a dramatic actor, as a serious actor in the actor's studio and all of that, and then
That's always the way.
But when people began to be aware of me, it was in comedy, and that's what I did, comedy, and then I got the idea, yeah, I'd like to sit, then I thought, why? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I really appreciated that I was just doing comedy.
I just wanted to see if I could, you know, because when I hit like a meteorite as a kid in show business, I was that kid. I wasn't acting.
Right,
I was just
right,
being.
Right.
I was so free.
Right.
And all it said was ingenue photographer.
Right.
Next I was driving. I was the first kid on television without any parents watching over her, with 19 guys in a television series. I was singing. They couldn't stop me, you know. So things have changed since then.
And the roughest time really was in the 70s, where you described, or because you read this stuff, and sometimes it's not. You described it as some kind of an emotional thing you had to go through. What was the nature of it?
Well, I got a divorce, and I had 2 infants.
Oh.
And walked away with, you know, not asking for anything. The gentleman I was married to, of course, you know, wasn't able to cope at that particular time. He was on his butt, and you know, there's no sense, you know, crucifying somebody.
Right.
So I just took the kids and went about raising them.
Right.
And tried to stay in the business that I loved, which I miss a lot. If I have to deal with 20,000 more cracked caps on bottles of cream, I'm going to go crazy.
Is that the downside of this, the cracked caps?
Oh, please. You have no idea.
Really, it's the caps cracked.
Uh-huh. And the people. I miss the people in our industry. Camaraderie, you know, the Teamsters, the lousy craft service. I miss all of that, you know, so I'm anxious to keep my hand in it. That's why I did the 2 films. But that's what it was like. I had to work. And I survived.
You're part Indian, which is hard to believe when you look at you. Iroquois, right?
I'm more Italian than I am Indian, and that's hard to believe, too.
More Italian. Well, you look an Italian Indian girl sitting there.
You're right.
You know, I mean, this is not Cher. I mean, you know, it's so funny to think of you that way, but you've been active with Indian causes. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, thanks to the products, too. We have now 93 kids that we've put through college on scholarships.
And who is we?
It's called Wind Feather. And we lick the stamps, we do everything. It's a very low-profile way of fundraising. You know, fundraising has become such big business. It's like, well, you know, people get highly paid to fundraise. as we all know, and I did not know that. So we do everything. It was my mother, who since I've lost my sister-in-laws, my nieces, the kids, my girlfriends, and we have about 27 women, and we have put 93 kids through college.
Indian children.
Yeah, yeah, very deserving. We have one little girl that just went back to a reservation, became a doctor, and we saw her all the way from high school. We're very proud. Marilyn Grass.
You know, Connie, I'm always struck how many people in show business are active in philanthropic activities like this, in charities and helping other people. I would venture to say that more people in show business than, say, in another field are.
I think so.
Why do you think that is?
Well, aren't we the lucky ones? Look what we do. Look at the people we meet. I mean, look at all the people we've interviewed.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in the presence of Moisha Diane. I've sung for presidents,
Jerry
kings,
Lewis,
queens, you know,
Bob
all
Hope.
of the major. I've been with one of the top comedians, from Jack Benny to Bob Hope to George Burns. So that's pretty coveted, you know, and you always wonder, are they going to find me out, or I better give something back here. So I think we all feel like that we're very, very grateful.
And you were appearing, I think, with George Burns in Vegas, right?
Sure.
Long time ago.
Yes.
After he lost Gracie.
That's right. And I did a series with him.
What was that called?
Wendy and Me.
And I mean, for you to be around Jerry Lewis, Bob Hope,
Who discovered
George
me,
Burns,
by the way.
Jerry, in what, Rockabye Baby?
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah. I learned so much from those guys. I really did learn how to laugh at the absurdity of, you know, what can happen to you sometimes, because I saw it, you know.
With them?
Oh, yeah. And I saw the rise and fall of them, too. I saw them when they were not on, and you know how it is when you're working with somebody. I saw Jerry when he went through his dive, and I see him now, and I love him to death. I'll walk into a hotel room, and he has occupied the suite, and there's "I love you, Con," you know, written on the mirror and stuff.
Yeah.
You're never that far away, and it's like an extended family, all those guys.
Yeah, what a privilege. You're right. That's the word. Bob Hope, George Burns, Jack Benny, Jerry Lewis.
Oh, I'll take part if I work with one of those guys. I never got to work with Jackie Gleason, who was really my idol. Mickey Rooney is as well.
Well, you're very much like Jackie. in your comic style. Next week's guests include, next week we come back and do a lot, because it's the second anniversary of the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. So next week we're doing a number of shows on this subject, which we've gotten away from, thankfully, for a while. But next week's guests will include Denise Brown and Tammy Bruce, Vincent Bugliosi, Faye Resnick, also James Carville, and Rita Rudner.
Have you ever had another player on the show discuss it?
Another player?
Another player that
Who?
played. I don't know, one of the big guys, how they felt about it. What kind of atmosphere was that playing with O.J.? I mean, really in the trenches.
Football player. It's an interesting thought. We've come to the end. Thanks, Connie. Thanks to Don Rickles. Good night, everybody.
Good to see you.
Good night, Mom.
Good
I
night,
love
everybody.
you.
The first rule in business.
Limousine service provided by Music Express, voted #1 by the National Limousine Association, with offices in Los Angeles and in the New York area. Call Music Express to handle your corporate limo.
Almost everyone is not known to almost anyone.
What?
She is a successful performer, actress, and businesswoman. She can be seen in 2 new summer releases, Oh No Not Her, and Race with Destiny, the James Dean story. Oh No Not Her would be with my friends Taylor and Bologna, isn't that right?
Yeah, they just retitled it, called Love Is All There Is. It was so much fun. We shot here at City Island.
They're funny, aren't they?
Oh, what a cast. Paul Sorvino and Laney, and it's Romeo and Juliet in the Bronx, if you can imagine today.
Oh, the Oh No Not Her refers
Anywhere in the U.S. and the world.
Born Concerta Ann Angolia, is that right?
Concetta,
Concetta Ann Angolia. Connie Stevens is look what it says, is known to almost, to who plays the part of her, if it was Oh No Not Her, which was that would be Renee.
Know.
No, because I could see her calling herself that. And the James Dean story, is there?
It was called Race with Destiny.
And this is this a new movie coming out about James Dean?
Yeah.